What's up? What's up? Good evening, everybody. What's up with AMC? If you guys have any questions, you guys know I'm taking those always on the YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. The link is in my bio. This is StockTwits heat map. We're going to talk about the market here, guys. We're going to go over the news and all that good stuff. We're going to take charting request. 118 call. Maybe Stephen. We're going to talk about potential levels to break for the market to the downside and where we could see some bounces. So. Make sure to leave a like if you guys are just tuning in. I am live on YouTube, so. Just a few more minutes here and we'll go ahead and get stuff started. Thank you. Appreciate that. Application on this is StockTwits. Excuse me, not StockTwits. This is TradingView's heat map. You can find that with the stock scanner. No, you haven't missed anything important. We haven't got started yet at all. Yep. All right, everybody. Few more minutes and we'll go ahead and get started. So SPY got you today. A lot of chop today until we finally got that final break to the downside. Definitely interesting trading setup here. Gap was filled, and then we saw that flush towards the end of the day that was predicted. So, all right, guys, a few more minutes here. Let's go ahead and get started. Do I day trade every single day? Yep. Swung Tesla puts. I could see those being pretty good. Posting live trading. I asked what the volume bars are right. It is the volume at the price or average volume. It is fixed. It is at a visible range. So however much data I input, that's where the volume of profile will adjust. You meant put flow? Okay. My stop loss was too tight and hit before the drop at 3. Now I'm sad. Up 25% on those 224.8 puts. Nice. Let's go, Bobby Blunt. I have traded for the last 18 years. Just need a trading view. What subscriptions do I have? The most important subscription that I have as far as a tool is probably Benzinga Pro. The link is in my bio. They've got a 2-week trial. Just takes your phone number, but absolutely worth a shot. It just due to the news, scanners, but the news mostly is my favorite thing. So huge buy orders at the close, 7-point Philly. Yeah, we're going to talk about where we're at because we are at support on most stocks. All right, if you haven't already, make sure to reshare this video with anybody you might know that is wants to catch us live, or might have any chart requests. So. You can get that free on TS. It is delayed. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. First thing is first, we're gonna go ahead and go over our news, as always, and then we'll go over today's trades, major ETFs, and my watch list. And all of those will be quick. Tomorrow is Friday. We have a lot of room here to make some moves here. So we got a lot of interesting setups here today. So should be pretty interesting, excited to do some charting here. So first of all, the S&P 500 down 1.57%. We saw our tech friends, the QQQ, down 1.54%. We saw Russell 2000 down 1.1%, and we saw the Dow Jones down 1.56%. All Every sector closed lower. Financials tumbled 2.29%. Consumer discretionary dove 1.29%. And communications crumbled 1.88%. But somehow we figured out a ways to play the upside on a couple of different stocks. We'll talk about those here in just a second. So I called this here at the bell, or excuse me, before the bell. Long Chevron, called that one around $10 after I got that initial pop, curled up, and I added here for you guys here around 11:14 if you guys were live with me. But this one leaped about 105% after the company's successful phase 1 study. Results were published related to the treatment of individuals with mild Alzheimer's disease. They spent the number one trending on StockTwits. Bitcoin and Ethereum fell 2.5%. Other top movers were SABS, 44%, ICVX at 33%. So those are some top movers there. GameStop surged about 15.4% in after hours. So if you didn't catch this news here, we're going to take a look at the extended hours trading there. We got a big old green dingus by definition. And that one was the catalyst there was the releasing plans for a stock split. The gaming retailer will ask shareholders to approve a proposal to raise the number of Class A shares to 300 million to 1 billion at its upcoming annual meeting for future company demands. They ripped 67% last week and is up another 9% this week. Walgreens descended about 5.6%, even after beating earnings and sales expectations. WBA was down 13.31%. Those are interesting things to watch because this thing does have a bear flag, but you want to look for the bottoms when those end up falling on good earnings. So EPS right there was $1.59 per share with the $1.44 expected. Revenue was 33 billion versus the 0.8 versus the 33.6 billion expected. LAC gained 34% the third month of the year as lithium futures continue drifting higher. They are now at 32% in 2022. Oil prices slide after Biden's release of more strategic petroleum. The U.S. has been affected in lesser degree than its neighbors across the pond in Europe. However, the weight of inflation leaning on average Americans, the Biden administration has tapped the strategic oil reserves to arrest prices in the near term. They are now reaching deep. They've announced a plan today that will release over 1 million barrels of oil per day for the next 6 months. The reason is pretty simple. The midterm election year, inflation is already bad. Energy prices are staying high, and this would be tough news for Democrats. 100 million barrels of oil to be released might go some distance in bringing down sky-high oil prices for average Americans. The average release has already made an impact on the market. CFDs and WTI crude oil dropped 5.8% in trading today, briefly below the $100 level. Inflation goes higher. Consumer spending seems to be contracting. On the economic data we got this morning, the key takeaway is consumers, at least, um, well, we seem to be contracting due to the consumer spending report, which showed that U.S. householders only spent about 0.2 percent month over month. That figure is a far cry from the 2.7 month over month change in January, when the broad reopening measures helped the economy back on its feet. Since then, things have been looking up and to the right pace for the U.S. economy, besides the very obvious insane war taking place in Europe. All right, so we did see a 30-year mortgage rates have hiked again. The rate for the 30-year fixed rate loan increased 4.6% yesterday to 4.44% on Thursday. All righty, so that's about it for the top news here. What's up? Great day. So today, let's fucking go. Hell yeah. I am live on YouTube here for those of you guys. Thank you for the likes. You guys are crushing it. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. I will take all of your requests. Leave those stock requests on the YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. All right. So for tomorrow, economic calendar, guys, we've got non-farm payrolls, non-farm private payrolls. We've got unemployment rate. We've got average hourly earnings, average at work week, ISM manufacturing index, construction spending, and IHS market manufacturing PMI. Most of this is very high impact data. I will be up tomorrow morning to go over this data. So that way we can get a leg up. But this is coming out at 8:30. Yes. Absolutely. Any questions that you guys have here on TikTok, leave those requests or questions on the YouTube channel. You can stay here on TikTok, not a problem. But make sure to leave those requests on the YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. That way I can go to those in chronological order and actually answer them. Otherwise, they get lost in the sauce. Just curious how the steaks went. Steaks did not get made. I made mozzarella, uh, pepperoni, uh, grilled cheeses with marinara sauce. I'm gonna make them tomorrow. Hell yeah, that's Betty White. Anyway, so high impact data coming in tomorrow. Let's talk about fucking, excuse my language. Let's talk about SPY, because damn. Now I know everybody is probably, and we did see quite a bit of put flow. We also can see here on the daily candle, we have gotten our pullback that we were looking for, right? Now, the trajectory and the trend is still very, very much to the upside. And a hard pullback with that type of energy going into the end of the day, slamming into support, certainly makes me feel that they want to either bounce it, and being that obviously today was the end of the month, being that tomorrow is the beginning of the month, we could end up reversing tomorrow and closing the day around 456.80. Obviously we saw, and again, we chart things and we look at things here and after hours, but the real magic, or the real analysis happens in the morning, period. It has to. So far futures are still around that area, and nothing has moved and broken range. So we will watch and see how we open up, and that will determine where we go from that analysis. But just to give you guys a couple of levels to watch for tomorrow, in case you don't catch us live in the morning, at 8:30 Eastern time, is 449.80, 449.60 area. And you can set that back right there. and that's going to be one of the first levels to watch for, most definitely. Below that, we've got a key level there at 447.41. So we will watch and see how we open up, going into tomorrow. There are no earnings, but there are potential earnings swings. And I do like swinging over the weekend for earnings because usually you can take those and they run up an IV. So if you grab multiple contracts, you can pay for the majority of the trade. So I may end up taking a couple of swings. We are going to be kicking off earnings season going into the second week of April. And that is something to factor in and think about. If data comes out tomorrow and data is good, then data could we could potentially see the market rebound in anticipation for the earnings season that we have upon us. So this could be a fake out. Anyway, uh, so for the watch list, we did swing Facebook puts. Those were risky. We did see a break in trend. That was a great trade. We did take Facebook today and we traded it multiple times. This one gave us a sweet move here to the downside. I held for the majority of the day, holding at least I think maybe 5% of the entire position. We did utilize weeklies here. We did fill our gap as projected. And then we ended up going, and anytime we break a level, what do? We retest it. And that is a great way to find exits and entries and stop losses. That is how you find them. You find these key levels. And these are obvious. These are easy to box out and pretty cool because tomorrow you guys are going to be using them, to determine whether we do rebound or not. And that key level right here. Now, obviously, there's a level above us at 253.60, but it's really the 224 level that is going to be the retest level. And you can see as we dropped down and we hit that 224 level, we bounced back up and we tested. And this is why we always tell you guys to let the candle close, because this is an excellent example of the body closing underneath that key level and then the rejection following through. So absolutely awesome. Oh, that sucks, man. Um, Guys, I am live on Discord right now, or excuse me, on YouTube right now. You can hit the link in my bio. If you guys are answering any questions or you have any stock requests, go ahead and hit the link in the bio, drop your request in the Discord, or in, fuck, man, I want to call it Discord so bad, in the YouTube. And that way I can actually answer it. I'm happy to go through as many as chart requests as I can. But I got to make sure that obviously, um, I go to get to them in chronological order. So this is Trading View, and this is the stock heat map. If you would like, if you follow me on Twitter, I will copy and paste and tweet this out right now. So you can go and you can click on it and save it in your search bar. It's being tweeted out right here. All right, I just tweeted it out. So if you guys want, leave a like if you check it out. That way I know. Alrighty. So anyway, Facebook. Anyway, great move towards the end of the day. We ended up closing those puts really well. Good or bad news tomorrow? That I can't predict. If I'm willing to take the risk of $800, where should I put my money? You should sit and get educated and feel a little bit more confident. Don't just rely on some guy on the internet to tell you what to get into, because if you get into it and you have no idea what's going on, it doesn't matter what I say, emotions will take over. That is where logic comes in. Um, Jonathan, okay, I can go over that. Anyway, Facebook does look good for maybe a potential leg down, but it did have a crazy pullback here towards the end of the day. The target tomorrow, if we can break down, is going to be 221.17, and if we fall further, to 17.20. Anyway, Facebook, Microsoft, they possibly could be implicated on the news with ATVI, where basically option traders were given inside information, and that's being investigated by officials right now. There is a trend line that I see right here on Microsoft, and that's going to be at 305. There is no trade on that below until we break below 305. Otherwise, watch for a bounce somewhere in this area and a potential rebound. Guys, it is not over. Please do not think, don't start removing your bullhorns in place for, and listen, if I'm telling you that, as probably one of the biggest bears on TikTok and YouTube and Discord, maybe not Discord, but just in general, you know, that should tell you something. Be on your toes because this has a great setup, and a lot of other stocks do, to rebound and send it right up in your face and squeeze tomorrow. Because what happens when you jerk and you see what happens to you when you're a new trader and you see a big green candle? You buy, right? When you see a big red candle, what do? You sell. And that goes for people who are shorting, right? You get the momentum straight down, you let it retest whatever level. And here's the thing, if we gap down tomorrow, I'll be likely taking profit at the bell on whatever downside that I have, especially if it's in line with my support. But anyway, Microsoft will be on watch to both the upside and the downside, believe it or not, with levels to add around 374 and 312.80 to the upside for a potential break to the upside. It has the ascending triangle set up. So if you guys are wondering what tinfoil shit I'm talking about right now, tinfoil hat shit, it's looking something like this in my mind. And of course, that's my mind. So who knows what happens there. Um, so that's what I'm thinking. That's a potential ascending triangle. I could be dead ass wrong. This could be a round top, or excuse me, a rounded top. And then we could continue to the downside, filling this micro gap to 303.74. Facebook put is $8 in the money. Do you think it will still sell? Absolutely. It'll sell like a hotcake. What's up, Jesus? Do you ever take a break? Yeah, take breaks all the time. I got kids. Um, do not get attached to either bias when there's money to be made on either side. Period. Alrighty, so can I do a 10-minute of pot stocks? We can throw pot stocks in there for sure. By the way, real quick, if I'm not mistaken, I saw this today. And we due to the hiccups involving um due to the hiccups involving the Oculus giveaway, we did end up picking a winner. We didn't want to go ahead and like shout it out, but we will be doing another one for an Oculus, and we're going to be doing this one likely, and you'll see a post about this one, but it will be mid-April, so around April 15th, we'll be doing another giveaway. But this is a thank you for the 10,000 subscribers that we have here on what the hell just happened here on YouTube. So just real quick, I know you guys are wanting stock stuff, but thank you for the 10,000 subscribers. Pretty fucking cool. Alrighty. So Longevron. I will watch this one tomorrow in pre-market. If it falls anywhere below 1175, it's off the watch list and watch it to the downside. It's that easy. Thoughts on Apple? I'm happy to do Apple. Absolutely. And I'll be answering these questions here. I'm almost done. I'm almost done right here, guys. I'm not a crypto guy, so if you're asking about crypto, I don't know why I did this. Not crypto. But if you're a crypto guy or person, I am not doing crypto right now. I was just borrowing it. Can you pour me a glass? Sounds like there's none. Anyway, all right, last one, ATVI. This one is the one that got that news. I will be watching this one below $80. All right, that's it. I will go over all of the stocks that I'm watching updated tomorrow morning, and let you guys know what I'm going to be watching. Because most of my watch list is refined and built in pre-market. But anyway, let's go ahead and take your guys' requests. So if you leave a request, please leave just in the YouTube channel only, because Discord, our YouTube, TikTok, I can't. I can only see 3 comments, and they're moving really quickly for the most part. So I'm gonna answer that question right there here in just a second. But just hit the link in the bio and drop those requests um, in the chat. So, all right. So starting at the top, the first request we got tonight, and we're going to be starting on the daily, is MU Money Sauce. By the way, with that analysis that I gave yesterday, we actually did follow through with that analysis that I gave. Gap was filled and then it was rejected. So anyway, let's take a look at this on the lower time frame. So we're going to ignore this really crazy looking setup right there. That is no longer, that is no longer valid. Okay. But what is valid is this support right here. And below that, the key level of 77. That is also where you see your point of control. And that brings me to answering one of your guys' questions. What the hell are these bars on the side of my chart? So these squares or these lines that you see are marking out levels, right? They're marking out levels like this, like 93.83, where we saw 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections. And then not only that, 1, 2, 3 retest of that very same breakout level before we flushed. And that is why I mark those levels out. But most importantly, I need to know the strength behind these levels and the volume profile, especially on higher time frames, often will help me identify those levels. That being said, I do think that MU has tapped resistance at 86, which is a key level above you. And pulling back from this rejection, you are at support. All that being said, you got to break it. And that break comes at 76.90. This is where I like to bring in my pivot points because I'm not perfect and I miss levels all the time. Money. That is money. That is 77.80. That is our pivot point. If you don't know what the pivot points are, basically they are doing exactly what I just talked about, and they are marking out those levels. And the pivot point is often the point of control, which means where the most amount of volume is at. Also, the most difficult levels to break, and often times in which you thank you by the way oftentimes where you do not want to make too many rash decisions until you make a definitive break to either side. That being said, the pivot point can be where you take that downside position at the break. Again, that level is coming in right there at 77.28 and 76. I'm going to say 76.80. Actually, I apologize on that one. So 76.80. And one thing I'd recommend those of you guys on YouTube, screenshot these things. All right, screenshot them, save them, whatever you need to do, print them out and do your own analysis. Do your own charting. If you see something different, that's awesome. Let me know. But regardless, this will help you if you are looking for my levels tomorrow morning. Are we going to lose everything? That's pretty dark, dude. I don't know if that's I don't know, dude. I hope not. Where are you at right now? Do you need to call somebody? I'm just kidding, dude. Pivot point strategy is the built-in strategy on Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you guys are on TikTok right now, um, please, and just for you guys, it's going to be easier to um, hear, see what I'm talking about um, on YouTube. Also, if you leave a request or a question, it's going to be way, way easier to answer those. So, um, after hours and pre-market mean nothing really. That's why. What is going on? I'm not sorry, I was just reading that comment. Anyway, MU below those levels, you drop 76.35. You've got another key level 75.40. What does that sound like? A psychological number. And that's exactly what it is. We can also go drop our handy dandy level here. I almost said notebook. Right there. Boom. Look at that. Beautiful. One, consolidation. Two, breakout. Three, tap, tap, 4 5, 76.25. That is where you go to your gap. And then you have a gap fill to the downside at 73.30. So, yes, if we end up reversing or flushing tomorrow, I would consider uh, that gap as a potential target. So, it looks good. All right, next one. We've got MU. Now, I'm going to try and remember to do this. If I don't, yell at me, throw a rock. If you know where I live and you throw a rock at me, then we got problems. But right here, um, I'm going to go ahead and tweet this link out. Now, these are not beautiful charts. People on Twitter are not going to know what the hell these mean, but they are good for you guys. So I'm going to tweet that out right now. Oh my God, what have I done? MU, yes, I'm tweeting it out right now. Make sure to follow me on my Twitter. Link is in the bio if you don't. You know what I'll do too? And I know this is going to be a little bit extra, but I'm going to go ahead and post this in I'm going to create a new channel here. Um I want to do this for myself too. All right, there it is right there. All right, so the next request that we had, let's keep it moving. We've got NVIDIA. Okay, so this one really, really crazy. A bit like a Head and Shoulders, definitely a trend break here. You've got a downtrend here. That's in line with my whole ribbon indicator. This is all on the hourly. Let's go to the daily first. Getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let's delete all these lines. Um, Clean it up. Alrighty. So what do we talk about all the time? Boxing it out, right? Box it out. So let's do that. Let's box it out. So what does a stock need to do in order to remain bullish? It needs to hold the level that it broke. And the level that it broke was 272.40. And that is currently the same level and 4 hour pivot point that we are holding right now. So all that being said, let's go back down to the hourly and let's look at that level and let's box it out one more time on the top, right? So that first box, yes, I see this right here. That is not in line with the price action. I could box it out there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it right here where the price action stayed underneath. Um, Trading view. Indicators, you can see, I will unveil my indicators. Go to YouTube and you will be able to see it there pretty easy. Um, anyway, so remember, let's keep it simple. Um, there is so I like to use both dynamic, which means these diagonal or these trend lines here. Those are dynamic, right? So if we bounce, then obviously we're going to be looking at 282, 65, for the place to break. Why? Because that's the same box that we broke out of. And not only that, it is the same, it lines up for a confluence. What the hell is a confluence? That is basically where two things are intersecting, two indicators, two trends right here, key level, downtrend, confluence. That's obviously, excuse me, if we hit that mark. It does look good with a head and shoulders, but that could give you a gap down. 267, 57 would be where I would be watching for. Otherwise, so I'm going to give you multiple projections here. So boom, that's tomorrow. If we open up around where we're at, flush, right? That's a rejection there at the point of control. I'm not going to say where we're going to go from there, but um, up, obviously, we have the downtrend there, right? You break that, then we rebound for tomorrow, and the target would be back at this resistance, 287.80. It's that simple, right? Levels. There's level to this. You and I know. Um, to the downside, you guys can see box it out, right? So we got to look at the same thing to the downside, same strategy, same everything. So the box down is right here, and that's in line with S1. That's 260. Now, one thing that I like to do with these levels is I divide them in half. And oftentimes you'll see where the price action is in line with that 50% mark. You move up, the first place you reject is 2, and I'm actually going to adjust that a little bit. That is around 266. The first level you retest, 266. You break up, you retest, 266. Wick, 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 body. So 266. So that would be where, and you can see I didn't even have to draw that line. I already have it set up for that bounce. That's 265. What makes me feel even more confident in that level? It's a psychological number. What is a psychological number? A psychological number is literally exactly what it sounds like. 265 is much more cooler than 263, right? I know that was a dumb way to word that, but that's just the way it is. So, but anyway, all that being said, definitely a break in trend, lower time frame trend for NVIDIA. And I personally see if we do bounce back up, these are both the projections that I would be looking for. So, but this is where reading and reacting is the most important thing. And that is how we make profits in the market. That is a part of our trading rules I have a video there on TikTok if you guys haven't seen it before. Yes, stock split. Yes, we just went over Turd Ferguson. We the platform is TradingView, guys. There's a link in my bio for it. And I don't know how to set up affiliate links, so I don't make any money off of that. So it's just you can just try it out, trial, whatever you want. I don't know how that works. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and tweet or copy and paste this, tweet it out for those of you guys who are not in the Discord. Um, what is wrong with my fingers? All right, next one we've got is MULN. So I got a lot of questions about MULN tonight. I know there's a lot of you out here who are looking at MULN, so this might be a time to go ahead and check these charts. So money, money. Sorry, I love that sound bite. Check it out. We've got a falling wedge. We've got a deadpan reversal off of a beautiful 224 level. That was called 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. The gap has been filled, and now you are consolidating. So what do we do here? Let's box it out. Now, I will tell you right now, moving to the 15-minute, the first thing that I just saw is a head and shoulders, right? But let's box it out. That's going to be my new catchphrase. Let's box it out. But you can't say that in public because you're gonna get in a fight. Um, what do we got here? What are you doing? What is that thing? Um, All right, so we need to mark down our lower levels too. Pivot point, woo, cool. 200-day moving average, cool. Level across, super cool. I like that 200-day right there. That's a confluence, right? I've got a moving average in line with my key level as well. So below 287, candle close, 281, big level. That's a pivot point. So that is where you can and will bounce. Now, one thing to consider here is a lot of times when you make these highs, there will be a downtrend. I'm not quite sure how that's exactly going to play out. I think it's not off of the wick. I think it's right here. So watch for a bounce potentially. And anywhere back above 307, that's where this pattern is blown. And then you can start watching levels like 320 and such. So I see more pullback potential here. And one thing I also want to point out here that is interesting and also worth noting. A lot of the times, 4 hour or any other time frame wedge will do this. Check it out. It will create a channel. The channel is being created, but the bottom of that channel is created by that falling wedge. And you have this stiff decline, and then you get that level. So right now, from what I can tell, MULN does look as if it has had a rejection, which I would give it a level of 268 to the downside for a bounce. If you do not bounce, um, let's double check my work here. 187. And that's a part of a gap. And depending how long and far this takes, then it could even take even longer. There it is. There's the level right there. So 175. So let me show you guys what I'm thinking. I could be dead wrong. But this is the beauty of it, is when you speculate, some people will discourage you from predicting the market or whatever like that. I go both sides, and that has been my secret sauce or whatever you want to call it. Like that has been the thing that keeps me planned for whatever. I have an emergency situation set up for either or. And that's why here, I'll give you my projection. So maybe you see a little wick, who knows? Pullback. This is the pivot point. You might see so right there, that's where you could see something like a falling wedge or something like that, right? You could end up testing support. But if my bearish direction or bearish setup is correct, I would anticipate, and I'm not gonna like try and draw this as if it was, like totally real. I could see a rebound there, but let me redraw that 1 second. I'm putting too many points on it. So I'm just trying to kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking here. So I personally see this as a downside play. And I know that might go against what some of you guys are hoping, but be realistic. And pre-market is a time that you can get out from under those. But here's the thing. My predictions don't mean shit unless the key levels break. And so have those levels ready and set tomorrow. One of those levels is going to be below those two levels that I just gave you is 257. That's the first key level. Second key level right here, that's 245. Third key level here, that's going to be 227 and 222. So this little bottom range there. So that's in line with what I would say. I don't know. I think it pulls back. But the one thing to keep in mind here is that MULN, the most bearish thing would be for it to pull back and retest resistance and reject again, because that would set it up to fall even harder. So obviously there's the possibility of continuation from there or a downtrend retest. So kind of in this I wouldn't really put a pin on this one. I think that the price action is still developing. Um, and I would say be patient on this one and let the trade come to you. Upside change 325, 325 on MULN. Tweeting this out right now. I don't feel bullish on that one, but I'm not in that space very much and I haven't traded it. So let's see here. MULN. There we go. Oops. Antero Resources. Why is it so high? 1 billion share buyback. Natural gas is why that is up that way. Watch for a bounce tomorrow and a push up to 32.50 potentially on AR. Guys, those requests that you guys are leaving are going to be best taken on the YouTube channel, which is filling up pretty quickly. HYMC. One second. All right. When we're set up and these type of setups where the pattern really could be not fully developed, you're at support. You're at your S1. So below this support 222, watch for a drop to the $2 level to the downside. I would say maybe even $2 even. Otherwise, upside is 250, and it's that simple. 250, I would give you a 275 price target. And then if by chance you did end up breaking to the upside, I would say a retracement back into the $3 range, maybe. I'm not really sure. I know I've heard news about this, but I'm not really sure what exactly is going on with this. It looks like a lot of selling pressure is coming in overall. Whole ribbon indicator flip red. So I see a bounce coming on this one, but overall it looks pretty bearish to me. BAC. Sheesh. You remember that time that I called Bank of America bullet bearish like 2 weeks ago? Damn. I am the biggest bear. That was that I know for a fact that some of the Discord members traded this on their own. If you did, amazing. Because right now, at the moment, with the fear of more aggressive federal interest rate hikes, these banks could fall even further. And I would venture to guess that $40 is the next target here. Now, looking at the daily, you have fallen very hard. So seeing a retracement is natural and welcomed if you are a bear. So $42 would be the retest level for Bank of America. Anywhere above that, you may even go and retest 52. A lot of the times with these rising wedges, like you see here, 50% of the pattern itself is where usually I'll be a happy camper. And as you can see there, that's about 50% of that move. So that being said, if you do drop any lower, I would venture to guess that the gap at $40 will be the next stopping place. So if you just what the fuck did I just delete? Just a brief projection here. I'm thinking maybe even something like that. But otherwise, any time, and this is something to think about, any time that your major moving averages on the higher time frames are lagging behind you, you will retest. It's only a matter of time. So if you're in a downside position and you're printing and you're like, man, should I sell this? Go look at where your moving averages are, because that's going to tell you and often give you a prediction on where things could go to retest. Now, the best case scenario here is that the moving averages move down and we consolidate, right? Going into earnings, which I don't know, where's that at? Hold on. April 18th. Remember what I said about mid-April? So my level is $41 and $40. I see $40.80 here, but you could see even a little bit lower there. So, but again, earnings are coming up. So again, I would expect some type of doji here or something of that nature. So how do I add the pivot points? You go to indicators, you go to PIVOT, and you go to pivot point standard. And you can put a little star on it so you can't lose it. There you go. Can you explain what a confirmation would look like when the price is at a trend line? I would have my levels, but it seems to get fake out a lot. That's why you got to let those candles close. Guys, link in the bio if you're trying to communicate with me here on TikTok. It's just going to be way more, way easier for me to communicate with you guys there. Yeah, one request at a time would be dope. Please. So, what's up, Raider Trader, dude? All right. ENPH is the next one that we have. That's Interphase Energy. This one finished flat today. Let's go to the lower time frame. We got to explore. All right. So weaker price action. Okay. But this is a consolidation pattern nonetheless. And we got to let it do what it does. So that being said, right there. So Interphase Energy has what I would venture to guess as a rising wedge. Now, energy has been skyrocketing, and I want to warn you that patterns are only valid when they break. So let it break. You have had four, I mean, this is about as crisp as it gets for rejections. You got one, two, three, four. Literally on the motherfucking dot. This is just the heat map for TradingView. Heat map for TradingView. Alrighty, so Interphase Energy, you're gonna want to mark out some key levels here. So the obvious thing here is above 206, right? That's obvious. The levels to the downside, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm bearish. I would be bearish on this for a pullback. 1 or 200. 200 even. That's a psychological number anyway. Interphase energy would be, I would say, down to 195.77, and you could and more than likely would fall down to 190, which is your pivot point. Um, Looking at I mean, if you just look at that price action, it speaks for itself. And you did finish with a hammer candle on the 4 hour, which is oftentimes where you will see potential continuation to the downside. So that $200 level, and then given that 197 and 196.55. Anywhere below that, and 195.50 would be the level that I would really want to break in order to see this next move to the downside. So perfect level there. Boxed it out, just like we talk about. 50% of the box right there. Oops, right there. So box it out, let the trade come to you, drop it down below 200. You've got 197.80, and then you've got that 195.75 that I just talked about. So anyway, that's the interface. That's what I feel on that one. What is that moving average on my chart? I've got a 200, a 50, and a 20. I also have a 9-day moving average as well. Do you play? I don't play SPY. Best Buy? Guys, I'm making my way down as many tickers as I possibly can. You guys know I'm going to try and make my way as through all of the questions that I see. Um, so just be patient, guys. And if you guys can't, no, and I don't blame you. If you guys don't want to sit around and listen to the stocks that other people are watching and you're not, I get it. You got time. You got things to do. Just come back and watch the recording when it's posted later on. So. All right, we're going to start here on the daily for Best Buy. Damn, it's almost like my levels worked. I think I gave somebody this setup. Not gave them, but they asked me about it before. So big bounce there for Best Buy. Pulled back with the rest of the market. I'm starting from this low here, drawing a speculative trend line, right? So this is a speculative pennant, basically, where if you bounce and we rebound like I talked about, because I'm telling you guys, in my gut, I feel that there is a possibility that we bounce tomorrow and blow everybody out of the water. So just be on your toes. But below the 87.70, that's where I would start marking 88.7 or excuse me, 89.70. That's where I would be looking for 88.70 right there. And that low of 86. Otherwise, I would look for something like that. And then if you're downside, I would look for something like that. Watch for your gap. Game is looking for a split. Yes, we talked about that. Who's spamming? We'll look at Tesla. Calm down, guys. We'll look at GameStop. We'll look at all of them. 1 second. I got you guys. I'm making my way downtown. I'm walking fast. Faces past. And believe it or not, I'm homebound. All right. So the next one, we've got Best Buy. Let me tweet that out for you. I'm forgetting. So there's on my Twitter, link in the bio if you guys want that chart. If you're in the Discord, it's going to be in my channels, BBY analysis. Make sure to retweet it or like it if you guys do end up checking those out. I do appreciate that. I would say that this is more of a descending triangle. So if you do hit resistance again, I would actually expect downside at 91. So I personally see downside here for Best Buy, but yeah. All right. Thoughts on Apple? Let's look at Apple here. I already did HYMC. Go look at the YouTube, scroll through, and you'll see the HYMC. Everything is not, that's not a crash. We're at support. Yeah, you guys can go start back from the beginning of my live where I go over the news. You can scroll through the whatever you want. But I've already done a ton of other tickers, so make sure to check that out. And if any of you guys have any requests or any questions, make sure to hit the link in my bio, go into the YouTube channel, leave your comment, and then you can hop right back right here. Also, I do really, really appreciate the likes you guys are leaving. We got 12K likes. Let's see if we can get to 20. All right. So, Apple, what we talked about days ago is the pullback that we needed, right? Because we can't make 11 days straight gains the first time since 1997. 1997 is the last time that we did that. So let's box it out, right? Because Apple, which by the way, I should always repeat this, Apple was one of the first stocks that I ever felt comfortable and started trading with real money. I definitely got burned, but I still did way better than I did on any other tickers. That being said, it's just a really good mover, and it's fun to trade if it is in trend. So that being said, Apple. Also, I used to be the one of the top rank analysts for TradingView for Apple. I stopped making content for TradingView and all those views and stuff died down. So anyway, let's do this is so cool because there's beautiful, beautiful, exquisite, the finest levels here on Apple. So today we slammed into 174.60. This is beyond the target that I had for today, which was around 175.35. It went even further. I think I had 175 even. So it did wick down. It did close lower. And it is currently, because it closed lower, we would need to see if we see a small gap up, I am immediately bearish. Immediately. If we gap down and it's around the 173.83 or the 173.60, that would bring concern, and also would likely have you retesting that 175. And that's where you could watch for a break, or you could watch for a rejection for continuation of the downside. It is Friday. It is Friday. So Friday is a notoriously low volume day. So what does that mean? Doji day, right? If we just slammed into support, what would a low volume choppy day bring us? A doji for a setup for a reversal going into the beginning of April and also the beginning of earnings season. Do not forget that earnings season is right around the corner. Now, one thing to think about is all of the economic data that we have coming in at 8:30, right? Why is bearish on a gap up? That is an amazing question, Jeremy. High five through the internet. So the reason why a gap up is more bearish And it's not always bearish. The rule of thumb is 2%. Above 2% gap, you can see continuation. But if you do not, and you see a small gap, so say Apple gaps up to 175, sellers get aggressive in gaps. You can see that here. When you go first break into the gap, you flush immediately. Immediately. Literally. Look at that. As soon as you go there, sellers immediately want to take it to the gap. And where do you bounce? And I know on TikTok you guys can't see that, but look at the gap. So let's study this. That's a great question though. And look at that. Right? Now we could even take this a step further and say here, right? Because this is technically where the gap is. Look at it. And where does it bounce? How do we find our entries, our exits, and our stop losses? Right there. That's how you do it. Right? Look at the 50% of that gap. So I hope that makes sense. But that's going to be a small gap up can oftentimes lead the trajectory to the downside. This actually happened here on Apple. I wonder if I could even get it. So yes, Apple opened up on March 31st. I guess it was today. Opened up around 177 after closing. It's not a big gap, but 177.74. So just a little tiny gap. And that drives momentum in that direction, right? It's like snowballs rolling. I guess if you want to look at it that way. That is a huge order block. Are you contributing or right at a certain, but that's what, right, it is an order block. You're absolutely right. Which is how stocks move. So do you think it's time for a reception? Hell yeah. Yeah, Baba's on the watch list tomorrow. I'm making my way down. Hood. Hood is the next one. Oh shit, I need to post this chart. Blech. So I'm going to post this. I'm not going to draw anything on it, and I'm going to get rid of this line here. But I'm leaving this chart for you guys so that you have your key levels, okay? So tweeting it out. All right, there you go. It's on Twitter now. And then posting the Discord here. I personally see 173.40 and 172.17 as two bounce levels here. So does that help though, everybody in the Discord, for me to be dropping these charts for you guys? Obviously, I know it probably does, but just to recap for everybody. And Twitter, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. Where do I post all these charts? In the private Discord. So what's the reason that I stay away from SPY? The reason that I don't trade SPY, first of all, when I was training how to scalp, I had terrible luck on SPY, and I had better luck on the Qs, um, and I chalked it up to algorithms. So algos are, and you got to think this stock is, the holder of it's the S&P 500. The algorithms in that thing are bonkers. I mean, I don't know if there's a good example right now. Oh, soy. But yeah, look at that shit. So it is SPY's job to just steal your money. So my candle close theory, right, that I talk about all the time, doesn't work. And that's why I don't trade it, because it doesn't work. So lots of fake outs, no technical, like three waves, right? It'll stay in a zone all damn day. And then right when you think it's going to dump, look at this. What is that, dude? Sorry, I get mad at it even looking at it, and it's already happened. I'm not even in a position, and the shit just pisses me off. And I think and I worded it that way because you guys can hear it. Emotional, right? I don't trade it for that reason. It pisses me off, and I get pissed off trading it because I can't. Not that I can't, I just don't have the luck, and so I just, instead of forcing it, I just stopped. I just was like, why am I doing this? Fuck's why, and I just stopped. So anyway, Tesla. Um, my cat is trying to break into my room, and I just wanted to do it. All right. So yes, Tesla has a gap. Yes, Tesla is at a key level. We're going to go to the hourly here. We're going to take a look here. Do we have a rounded top? That's the number one question that I have here. I will say that Tesla and God dog it, I love key levels. They're so cool. You get two key levels here, right there on Facebook, excuse me. That's 1085. I gave you guys these levels this morning, actually, for these downside. The next one was 1082, or excuse me, yeah, 1082 even. And then below that, I had 1077 and 1074. We tapped that 1077 to 1076 level with a vengeance here towards the end of the day. So here's the deal. The levels that we break are the levels that we want to hold. Remember this saying, right? Um, the ceiling becomes the floor, and the floor becomes the ceiling. And when you break up above that floor, you want to stay above that floor. That's bullish. If you break down, you want to stay below that. You don't want to get back above that ceiling, and then you can potentially fall further. So, what does that mean for me? That means that Tesla, on its maybe potential rise, I want to see it retest 1082 or 1085. What do I look for there? I look for a break in trend or obviously a candle close above the level that we broke, and that would signify to me that we can go test the next level, right? And that's why we have these levels. The next level. Now, as we're traveling, what are we watching and what are we paying attention to? Market sentiment, right? Because it's not all technicals. And we're also paying attention to our major ETFs, right? Price action. So volume also extra important. 1091, right? That's my point of control here. 1090, that's where I would retest if I break or even break. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a test. You pass the test, you can continue forward. Here you're moving down, you test the 1082 level, you pass it, and you go down to the next level, 1072. You have yet to pass it. Obviously, the day closed. The next level below you on Tesla is 1072. The next level below on that, I don't have it on the hourly, but I got it on the 15-minute, and that's going to be right there at 1065, 1067, and 1065. Both levels to watch to the downside. So you can see big bounce off of there. And then below that, the bottoms of those candles. From there, I would speculate that there would be some sort of bounce before breaking into this massive gap. Now, let me also throw something else out your way because we do not move into any day with a bias, right? Because that's how we lose money. There is a downtrend, a smaller, lower time frame downtrend here on Tesla. It's worth watching and paying attention to, but is not a leading factor here. One thing that I saw was this potential rising wedge. Now, it doesn't matter, right? It does matter how we close. But say Tesla closed, and I'm not sure what it did. So it actually continued a little bit lower here in after hours. But say Tesla opens up here at 1080, then it goes back up in my opinion. Or excuse me, not about 1080. If it opens up or pushes past 1082, I would be bullish there. If it gaps up to around 1080 even, I would look for the push down and continuation to the downside. So, um, but anyway, hopefully this is useful information here. So if you're in Tesla, all you need is your stop losses. As long as you're adjusting them and moving, and even if it's, some people say don't do mental stop losses. I do. I don't know. I don't have an issue with it, but um, better than having a hard stop loss is having the ability to scale in and scale out. And that's been my saving grace for a long time. That is, yes, Betty White. Oh my God, dude. What do I look for in a bounce? Good volume. Good volume and a good candle close. 15-minute is the middle ground between the hourly and the 5-minute. If you are in expiration contracts that are not weeklies, 15-minute and hourly are going to be your best friends and they're going to help you make better decisions because your expiration will allow you to hold through the mess. Otherwise, and you guys saw that on Facebook, guys. Today was just I was so excuse my language. I was so bored today with the price action. It was like coagulated hot dog water with gelatin in it. It was terrible. And we were hardly moving for or just bouncing. I mean, the wicks here tell the entire story, but we held and we held and we re-entered, and that's because of that exact reason right there, is because I let those 15-minute candles close. A new person watching the 5-minute is going to cut on that one, right? He's going to be like, and he's going to leave. But instead we let the candle close and then we can make a better decision. So, and look at it, look at all of those candles. What happens? They're all brought back down and close at the exact same level. And what is that? 226.80. So, all right, it is getting close to 10 o'clock. I will be live at 8:30. What the fuck am I talking about? I will be live at 8:30. Um, thirsty for some gains. But I will be live to on YouTube. I will possibly and more than likely be live bright and early around maybe 7:30, maybe 6ish Eastern time. So you guys are welcome to join me there. Now, let me reiterate my sentiment on PayPal, okay? Not on PayPal, but on the market in general. We slammed into support, and what do big red candles make people do? Chase, sell, short. And what happens if we do a deadpan reversal back above 117? We squeeze, and guess what adds to the squeeze? Everybody's leaving. A lot of the times people don't want to hold over the weekend. Friday is notoriously a day where people exit positions, a lot of the times towards the end of the day. But with that volatility, and if we reverse in the opposite direction, I would actually venture to guess. I personally would put a target around 118.50. or even just 118 for PayPal. So I see a falling wedge here. I could be wrong, and this could just be a little like H looking pattern. And I would say that below 115, PayPal more than likely will continue to the downside with the nearest target of 114.25. Yellow and blue is volume profile, and it lets me know how strong the levels are, right? The volume traded at particular levels rather than time increments. That'll look good. Looks like a big ass bear flag. IMO. Yeah. Yeah. Ignored. That was caused by some news. Bear flag. Dumpy. There you go. I'll post it on Twitter. Go leave a like if you vibe with it. Damn, dude, this wine from 19. No, it ain't that old. 2017. Busting. Look at the legs on it. I don't really know what that means, so I'm just pretending. I heard somebody fancy say it once. This wine has wonderful legs. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? You are on drugs? For somebody who is just starting, what would advice would I give? Start slow, watch, listen, pay attention to people's mistakes, pay attention to people's wins, pay attention to how people behave. That is extremely important. And when you're dealing with real money, your emotional state. It's also a great opportunity to look at yourself and look at how you react in certain situations. If you find yourself making rash decisions when you're emotional, that's something to work on, and it's probably going to afflict you and be here it is for you. There are a lot of things in my life. I still struggle with things all the time, but there were a lot of things in my life that I was struggling with, and they directly correlated with my trading. It was weird. And then when I finally realized it, I was like, holy shit. You know, humans are greedy. We don't need to be ashamed of it. It's just the way it is. We just try and do our best to not be greedy and fall into it. Everybody sees the possibility for more money, and most people can't say no. And that's why most people lose money, is because most people chase green candles, most people sell on red candles, and most people are watching ridiculous time frames that have nothing to do with it and possibly even are charting wrong. Um, so AMC tomorrow. Also, if someone's just starting, stay the hell away from AMC. Dude, listen, KJ Oscar, I would put your time and energy into something else. Sure, AMC can bounce, sure, something cool. Maybe it does a kickflip, maybe it goes back up to $30. I had it hitting $34. I was right. It hit it, it died. Um, they faked you out. Maybe Games News might help split it again, or help send it to the moon. But right now, I'm looking at $20.87 to the downside. To the upside, watch it above 26.15 for a potential rebound to 28.80. But personally, if anybody on this app or anybody anywhere tells you the exact date in which something is going to squeeze, they are they are dumb. No, they're not, but they are doing dumb things, and that is a dumb thing to do, because you cannot predict that. You could do an extensive amount of research, and you could have a hunch, but you won't know. And until that occurs, that moment and that catalyst and that snowball effect takes place, that's when it will squeeze. The market itself will have to literally fucking unravel, excuse my language, unravel for AMC and GameStop to, and that's what would happen. Remember what happened when AMC and GameStop, every time that they would go down, the market would go up. Every time that they would go down or up, the market would go down. So, um, guys, I on in my the link in my bio, I have done Facebook, HYMC, uh, Best Buy, Apple, Tesla, Facebook. Um, shit, I've lost count now at this point. Um, where do I put? Yeah, I post. What about a 10 minute? Oh, get out of here. Yeah, actually, a 10 minutes pretty cool though. Thinkorswim, the volume indicator. Yeah, it does. I don't know what form it is in though. When you set your stop loss, you set your stop loss at a level that you know it's going to continue to pull back. Obviously, if you're in weeklies, that doesn't matter, right? You're buying a depreciating asset. So if I had a message to any and all new traders that are struggling their ass off, I would say stop trying to win your account back by bleeding yourself dry. Most people try and buy cheap, and that's how I know an amateur trader from a good trader, right? Is somebody who will look back at a weekly contract on Thursday or Friday and be pissed that it went 180 to 300% or something crazy like that. And they wanted to hold their full position. You can't, because it's just bad risk management. But you could have held a next week's contract through that whole thing. And that's the difference is you're paying more money for more protection. So you lose less. But most people are paying less thinking they're going to get more, but they just lose and bleed themselves dry. Please, if you haven't tried it, I'm going to keep saying this as long as I'm trading options in front of people. Think about it. This is Trading View. Damn, bro, people love this fucking heat map, dude. You guys like that shit. Would you mind commenting on GameStop stock split? I don't think that they're going to want that. I don't think that they're going to want that at all. Yeah, links in the bio for make sure to follow me on TikTok or Twitter, guys. I be tweeting out the news all day long, so IPOF sounds like a SPAC. Am I right? I'm think I'm right. Yeah, dude, I don't know, dude. There's regulations on this one. My charts can't help you. They can only make it worse. But I'll give you my resistance and I'll give you my support. There it is. I'll even tweet it out for you. I have nothing. I don't even like doing analysis on these personally because they just run off of news and that's about it. So 1025 is the move you want to make to the upside. I did MU on YouTube. I have done a lot of the stocks that you guys are talking about right now on TikTok. Yeah, so 354.25. If the market continues to pull back, watch Lulu for a bounce at 360 psychological number. But if you do not bounce, then I would bank on the 354.60 break. which would give you the breakout retest that you would want to have in order to continue the upside. So, Lulu hourly, tried to bear flag, lost its bear flag, 364 and 3. So when it, okay, first of all, it will it will bounce. Okay. There's your downtrend. Okay. That is where I'm saying okay a lot. And calm down. When you bounce, which you will, watch for those retests. You could see 370, you could retest 370, 120. But otherwise, most likely looking to the downside. I'm calling it now as long as no fuckery or BS halts. AMC 90 to 100% run tomorrow. No. Okay. 32-inch LG monitors. So Lulu puts, if they set up that way, sure. Lulu below 363. If you get a small gap up on Lulu, watch for a rejection at 372.60. If you break up, watch for a rejection or a break above 377.15. So, all right, everybody, I am going to be live at 8:30 Eastern time. I have charted damn near a quarter of the stock market, it feels like, as well as my stocks as well, in the news. If I didn't get to your ticker, I do apologize, but I will do my best to get to them tomorrow morning. So if you guys want to join us on YouTube at 8:30 or TikTok, make sure to follow me on Twitter. That is where I alert everybody when I go live, or if you hop in our Discord, which has a ton of free learning material, you guys can see when I am live there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. My eyes are about to fall out of my eyeballs, out of the sockets. And I will probably be doing you guys no good sounding drunk and exhausted. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night before I disintegrate. Is that a cat? Yes. I got the kitty Kate. I'll do a one more. I know there's a lot of you guys who really want me to do charts, guys, and I apologize if I missed them. I might even copy in this and maybe look at I would actually say here tonight, if you're following me right now, I'm going to drop a tweet tonight on what stocks you guys want me to drop charts on. And tomorrow morning, if I'm up early, if I start charting for those in the Discord, I'll post those charts for you guys. So go ahead and do that. I'll post that right now. All right, I'm tweeting that now. Make sure to leave a comment, retweet it. All right, so ABBV, daily time frame. Let's go look. Okay, so you had a really decent candle here moving to the upside. I'm already getting the ascending triangle type vibe. And if I'm correct about my bounce that I'm talking about market wide, then I would look for a move above 163 and 163.50. That will likely take you up to your 164.30, and you could actually see a breakout on ABBV because it is currently in trend. But the same thing could be said for retesting right here. So let's go to our 4 hour, because when we chart on the daily, when we go to the 4 hour, that's how we get clean. That's how we get a cleaner look. So anyway, we could see ABBV drop 160. That's the psychological number. And then below that, you've got 158.29, and then you've got 157. And then from there, you could start a large consolidation pattern that would likely take you a week to break out of. So go to the YouTube, guys. Go to the Twitter and ask for those charts, guys. Leave those requests for the charts right there. Here's my Twitter. It's PotterStocks. Not the other guy. There's another dude. This is me. If you guys have any requests for any charts, make sure to go and follow me there. And I just tweeted, what stocks should I post analysis on? And I will post as many charts as I can, maybe even tonight and going into tomorrow morning. And if you do, I will tag you. So I will respond to your tweet and then retweet it. So Tesla, I've already done Tesla on my YouTube channel. Guys, I will be live on YouTube tomorrow morning. I've been charting now for a hot minute since 8:30. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night for those of you guys on TikTok, because a lot of you guys just joined. YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and stop.